Really enjoyed this conversation, Kofi. Just want to kind of move on to just the final bit to this conversation. So I'm sure people have approached you as they've been buying from you as maybe a gateway into Ghana. So you as someone that's been living, working, or having a business for about 10, 20 years, what advice do you tend to give to those who are looking to relocate or move to Ghana, invest in Ghana, also live in Ghana as well?
Sure. So yeah, that's a conversation that comes up often. It's interesting. There's so many ways to approach the country, and I think if you're an entrepreneur, it's almost a calling. And I think that's usually the driver, that you see an opportunity. There's something that's just not quite right, and you realize that there's some set of resources that you specifically have where you can meet that need. So that's usually, once you have that driver, and you're disciplined, and you can live within your means, you have the patience that's required to succeed over a longer time horizon.
Yeah.
And then if you can find people, like for me, my training is in African American studies, literature, and history. Right? So I'm not an engineer, I'm not an architect, but it's allowed me to have the humility to learn from everybody, right? Because I'm not necessarily supposed to know anything. So whether it's economics or finance or banking, I've allowed myself to sit at the feet of various people from various different disciplines and ask lots of questions and assimilate as much of that as I can, try things, and you just keep what works. So I think the rate of change that I find in Accra, there's just huge opportunities for everybody in an array of different fields. So if you're looking to move back, and you've got a foot in the developed world, there are great opportunities for you.
Awesome. And what pitfalls would you share with those who are looking to make those moves that you can share from your years of experience, whether it's investing, living, or relocating?
I think it's important to just take a very humble, and I think there's a conversation around this, that sometimes things aren't quite as easy as they look, that there may be a reason that things aren't happening the way you may expect them. So, it's not as easy as saying, okay, well, there's a gap in the market, and I can pluck this thing that's working in Bristol and plop it into Accra and make millions.
Yeah.
Oftentimes there's a reason why there's, that fit might need some adjustment.
Yeah.
So you have to maybe sandbox it, start small. And then, I think it's true probably anywhere in the world. You just want to make sure that you've provisioned the business properly, and you've got some contingency plans if things take longer than you expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be universal principles that you can take if you're moving to a country like Ghana. I mean, you build, and then you test, you iterate, go back to the market, come back, tweak, and then launch, and then improve your version, and hopefully tweak until you get it right. It sounds like that's what you've been doing with some of your projects as well. I mean, seeing what the market wants, trying to make little fine-tuning tweaks here and there, and then to get that out get back out on the market, and then hopefully make that sell, and then take that knowledge into your next projects.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
Wonderful. I really enjoyed having you here, Kofi.
Adrian,
do you have any announcements that you want to make in terms of, can you still have some units that you're selling? Or?
Yeah, we do. So essentially what we do is we just build in phases.
Okay.
So we'll build phase 1, sell it off, build phase 2, sell it off. We're in the midst of phase 3 now. So I suspect as we're getting ready for Christmas and the whole diasporan tribe descends on Ghana, it shouldn't take us very long to move those. But once those are gone, we'll put some more on the market.
Nice. So it's more or less, would you say it's kind of selling itself at this rate, or it's still a little bit of...
Yeah, we have an interesting strategy. So we work with a lot of YouTubers and also on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I've just been really...
It's really good LinkedIn, isn't it?
It's wild.
Yeah. Because it's like Facebook in 2014, the organic reach is really good.
Yep.
Yeah, because when one person comments or likes, then other people in their network see it. And then there's just this network effect that happens.
Absolutely. And just in terms of finding, I've got a network of about 30,000 Ghanaians.
Whoa.
Mostly professionals in the diaspora. And I've been building that for the past 4 years. And I've met so many incredible people. And we've just, linked up sometimes, like, hey, let's hop on a Zoom and have a chat about something. And then you can find your market. And it's not easy. It's not that difficult to identify a Ghanaian in the diaspora. So, you find the names, you're looking at various cities. So I'll pop up, if I go and visit some friends in Chicago, I've got a network of 600 Ghanaian professionals that I can reach out to and ask, hey, is there an event that I should be attending? And everybody's always so helpful. So I think it's a combination of telling the story on YouTube, and then you multiplying that by the network on LinkedIn. That's really been my formula. So, I've tried to take a page out of Elon's book. You never see a Tesla ad.
Yeah.
Right? But he's just kind of like this one-man PR machine.
A personal brand, yeah.
Yeah. And it's, if you see a billboard, that's great. Mm-hmm. But you walk through a home with Vanessa Camby or with Ivy Prosper.
Yeah.
Right? And you really get a sense of, you can spend 20 minutes and see, okay, well, how much space is there in this gallery? And you got a sense of how much space there is in the living room, right? And it's more tactile, and so for us to be able to communicate with that level of specificity to a global audience, pinpointing Ghanaians in the diaspora, and again, the Ghanaian, particularly the Ghanaian diaspora in the UK, is massively supportive. Mm-hmm. A number of associations, the overlap. You see people who run the real estate diaspora community supporting the people who run the kind of more social Ghanaian. So everyone's all linked up, and everybody comes out for each other's events.
Yeah.
And then there's
very supportive.
The nursing association and the doctors and dentists, and everybody's rooting for each other.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a really warm environment.
Yeah.
So I've really felt lucky to be able to build into particularly the London diaspora community, share content, and you're right. People, they share. People who maybe they bought a house, maybe they have no intention of buying a house, but they just think, oh, this is an interesting thing, so that's allowed me to basically zero out my marketing budget and produce and sell houses cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's the technology has also been an enabler.
Amazing. So it seems like the trick here is in the modern day and age is to build a network or community, and then build trust and familiarity with them, and tell a story or show them whether it's a skill set or something. Let them build trust in you, and then you'll be able to sell a product or service to that specific circle group of people. That tends to be like, I think, a more popular way of doing business these days, especially with the social media, internet, and the content. So it's just quite interesting how that's working for you. Very, very interesting. And you mentioned the UK community is quite vibrant and very supportive. I know we're wrapping up now. Just quickly want to ask you before we go, how does the African American community respond to what you're doing? Because, for example, I know there's a few Ghanaian communities in the US where it's